Hey there, and welcome to Three Down Development. This is the first time you're watching one of our videos. Welcome. We're a channel for both football coaches in Canada and across the world. So we break down three down content, four down content, and really try and bring as much knowledge to fellow coaches and players as we can, regardless of whether you're playing the 11-man game or the 12-man game. If you're looking for more resources, check out our members only content. You can do that by becoming a member. It's cheap and it helps support our program and coming up with more resources for players and coaches. So if you're interested, please check that out. Check out our community page as well for more resources. In this video, we're going to break down Mike Leach's top three kind of concepts that I really like, that I think can be useful to high school coaches. We're going to look at a variety of versions of mesh. We're going to talk about 4 verts. We're also going to talk about kind of extensions to their run game, so their why follow concept, as well as their tunnel screens. In a members only video, which is launching when we launch this video, we are also going to break down all their forms of Y cross and their plays off Y cross. I think it's a really, really good resource. And Mike Leach's Y cross stuff is some of the best I've seen. So make sure you check that out, become a member, help support this platform today. So taking a look here, we're just going to start with basic 2x2 mesh. Nothing revolutionary here. You're going to see both outside receivers run these kind of 8 to 10 yard outs. Okay, that's going to create the spacing we need to work the mesh on the inside. We're trying to influence the flat defenders out to create room to now throw our mesh concept on the inside. You'll see here this flat defender doesn't widen. This deep third defender's got open hips. He's dropping clearly to the third. Okay, the quarterback's able to deliver a strike there to the sideline, especially in the boundary, very makeable throw. Okay, we're just making those outside players be accountable, those overhang players, whether it's a safety or outside back or a nickel corner, making them be accountable and widen to the when we're running the mesh. So here you'll see the mesh now on the inside, exact same concept here out of 2x2. All right, you'll see one player come over, one player come under. All right, I like to have them slap hands. They don't here, but it helps get rid of this distance in between, and really creates an efficient rub on the defense. Here you'll see both outside overhang players widen. Okay, and that gets us our 2-on-2 matchup here to run our mesh concept. With this being a zone concept and both players looking out into the flat and seeing defenders defending the grass in the flat, after the intersection point, they should both look to sit down and present a target to the quarterback. So you see them dial down here. You'd like to see them slam on the brakes and really sit down more violently. Okay, you see here that window. This grass is taken. We're going to slow down, sit down in that window, and then get upfield. The running back here is releasing to the boundary side. Okay, gives us another way to stretch that flat defender and really force them, into a lose-lose situation in terms of having leverage on these routes. They're either going to have to give us the flat and we'll run through it, or if they take the flat, we're going to sit down, hook it up in these kind of hook to curl windows. Okay. It's a nice tackle, but again, easy way to pick up a first down. Here you'll see it from the tight. All right, again, you'll see these guys intersect and then their eyes snap to the quarterback, look to sit it down because, again, they see defenders out here covering this grass, and then we're going to get upfield right away on the catch. Here it is at a 3x1. I think this really unlocks the play, is being able to do it at a 3x1 as well. So you're going to see the mesh concept on the inside here. Now you're going to run some sort of 2-man concept. It's often some sort of post dig or seam dig. Okay, here they run it, and I like this with the out to continue to stretch this flat player. Okay, and then a post to occupy that middle of the field. Okay, so you see here, this flat player's eyes are inside. He's looking for that mesh route. The quarterback's able to get the ball out there. I know it's a long throw in high school. You could work on reducing the split. You see it is a fairly reduced split already. Okay, whether you run this at a bunch or whatever, but allowing you to still make that throw. I still think it's important that this guy can't hang inside and confidently sit on that. The other way you can do it is to try and have something in behind him. Okay, some kind of dagger concept. Okay, but I like this here. If this player widens, now we're going to come back to our mesh, right? If this player sits, then we're going to be able to throw that out right on time. So here's the first variation, starting in 2x2, just going to get a simple motion here to the field. But what I love about this is the ball's snapped, okay, and then he's going to end up running a wheel route. So we're going to get a post wheel concept here. and then the mesh inside of it. Exact same meshes in 2x2, still reading it out. Here you see with the man match concept, the defense is playing. Okay, they're matching those two vertical routes. That creates space. We have an open flat that we're going to keep running into now. All right, great opportunity to catch knife and get in the end zone. So when we get that man situation, right, it's tough. You see here, he's got to work over that pick route. Okay, and we're able to get into that flat. And you'll see here the back swinging out into the boundary. Okay, we see that open flat for 4 to run into on the mesh. Take it, get vertical. Similar here, now they're going from, the previous one was 22 to 31. Here we're going from, ball's really in the middle of the field here, but we're motioning to 22. Okay, and again, now we're going to get just the wheel on the front side. And you see how challenging this is now. If they're trying to play some kind of bracket coverage on this isolated receiver, we get this late motion and he wheels. Now they got to make an adjustment to that coverage. And you see them try and switch it. All right. But this guy's got a head of steam and he's able to run by a pretty good corner here at the bottom of the screen. Again, if they're able to, get this route covered down, now our eyes can come back down to the mesh. So in this variation, we're going from 3x1 to 2x2. Again, you'll see that wheel route from the motion guy. And with the bracket coverage they have on 1 here, okay, this becomes really challenging. Now they got to make an adjustment to their coverage. 1 is late to make that adjustment. All right, and we're able to fly by. Great throw, great catch. But again, the change in formation back to a familiar concept. All we're running now is 2x2 mesh. Okay, if they were playing off, I would assume they could still have him run the out. Or you can have it be a straight wheel if you don't want the option route in there. Okay, but again, if it's covered, we're going to come back down to this mesh. I love the element of motion here, forcing the defense to communicate, able to create an explosive play. Now we're into empty. Again, you're going to see this kind of jet motion, little token fake. Now we're going to get a wheel from number 3, a post from number 1, and number 2 is actually going to run the mesh. So you'll see that action, the wheel from, it's actually the back playing the 3 receiver. That wheel really peels off. Okay, the flat defender carries the wheel vertically. That clears out the flat. The only player left is kind of that wall defender. All right, and he's got to be involved in the mesh. We get a really easy check down here. Ultimately, we're getting a 4x1 overload to that side. Very similar idea here. It's the back is in the backfield and is going to run that wheel out of the backfield. Again, creates confusion. They're in some kind of pressure. I'm not sure whether somebody should have peeled with this or what, but they're in a pressure. You get the back out on the wheel. Okay. You get the post from 1. O-line gives them enough time. We're able to get this ball on the wheel route right now. If someone peeled out with that, we would have our swing from the jet man back down to the mesh. Ultimately creates a huge play. Same idea. This one's just to the field, 3 on the wheel, 2 on the mesh. 1 ends up running more of a curl here. All right, you see that wheel is really going to come open again as this guy has to manage the wheel route and the swing route. But doesn't come open early enough. We come back down to the mesh. It's a great tackle, but it's going to throw at the sticks for very close to a first down. Now we're going to get into the Verts concept. There's lots of great videos out there on Verts. We've done a video on how LSU runs it, which is similar. Okay. Here, the big thing is all these guys have the option to convert to a shorter route if they get off coverage. If they're capped and they can't get on top, they can find grass and become a viable target for the quarterback. So both these outside players can hook up their fade routes. Both these inside players who are running the seams okay, can look to bend and curl in behind these backers. So you'll see here, the inside release, the backer has to stay sticky on it. If he does, really easy for us to run the curl out here. Bang. Again, gets up the field. Now this is, 3rd and 25. So they're giving that up. But I mean, ultimately, they get him out of bounds. Okay, they're close to a first down. You see here, if this guy were to widen to take that away, we would have a seam window to take that shot. All right, the quarterback in this case can, take the receiver he likes leverage the most and then work across the board, across the 4 verticals. You get a good look to the field here as well. Inside release, right? We get vertical right away again, pushing that seam. Here we see in the boundary, this wall player pushes out too far. We're able to get that seam route inside of it. Again, it's not a super far throw. It's a on the rope seam shot here. But we see when we get those 4 guys finding grass and taking the grass, the defense gives them, puts them in a bind. It's another great tackle. Here it is at a 3x1. So we're attacking the same landmarks. Opposite hash, field hash, and we got our 2 hook routes. Okay, this can bend flat if we're capped. This can bend flat if we're capped. We see here we're capped, so he bends it, right? We get a throw right on the money. First down. 2nd and 10. Again, just finding the space, finding the grass. All right, now we're going to look at 2 plays, which to me are really extensions of the run game in the air raid offense. I love them in a high school offense where you're featuring the running back. You're trying to get easy completions for the quarterback. So this first one is what they call follow. The back's going to run a swing. You could run a glance over here with the wide out, or you can just block the corner. It's up to you. Okay, and we're looking at, do we widen the overhang player with the bubble? If yes, we're going to come back to this drag route on the opposite side. Okay, and then we have like a Mills concept here, dig post. Okay, if they're playing some kind of man coverage, the post can be an option. Or if you're playing, quarters coverage, that dig post in the backside can be an option. So we're just going to work from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 on the backside. Catch, knife. Again, it's getting ahead of the sticks. Great play for a high school offense. Same idea here, a bit of a tighter split, tight end body. Okay, we're going to get that dig and post concept, holding those players in the middle of the field. Here's the under. This is very similar to mesh. We're going to sit down if we see a flat player, catch, knife. Okay, no new teaching on that because it is the exact same as mesh for that guy. Here we see with a reduced split from the X, who actually gives a little crack block on the edge here. Playing the tendencies. You see a nice throw here on the front shoulder for the back. Flicks that thing out, open field tackle drill. Again, extension of the run game. If I pause it here, that's got to be the best blocked outside zone of all time, right, for us to get that picture, okay? And we're getting it without having to make one run block on the field from an offensive lineman. The second extension of the run game that I like that they do is their tunnel or smoke screens, okay? So you'll see here, this receiver is going to take 2 or 3 hard steps of the field, work back behind the line of scrimmage. The slot back is blocking. So the slot's going to take the most dangerous. Typically, the tackles will set the ends up the field. We'll get the guard out for the next DB. The center will have the play side backer. The guard will have the backside backer. So we see there's our block on the most dangerous. There's the guard coming to take that next DB. In this case, it's the corner. Okay, center on play side backer, backside guard on backside backer. And again, short, easy completions. Like this is this is 10 yards apart playing a game of catch and warm up, right? You're not going to get an easier throw than that for your quarterback. Catch, knife. Great extension of the run game. Great play on 2nd and long, try and get you in 3rd and manageable. Okay, great play on 1st down to get ahead of the sticks. If you're not a great running team, you're an air raid team, and you're trying to get the ball, your best athletes are playing on the in the slot or out wide, these types of screens can be great for you. Here it is at a 3x1. They're going to do it with the Y now. Again, show that outside release, come back. We're going to have the slot block most dangerous. This guy can now take the corner with the third receiver. This is great, especially if you're getting some kind of bracket coverage on the backside. Tackle will set the end up field. Guard can now take the next most dangerous. Center can take the play side backer. Guard can take the backside backer, or in this case, work to a safety if ultimately there's nothing left to take. Right, and again, you see here, you're not going to get an easier throw than that for your quarterback. Get up the field, get one of your best athletes in space. Last one, again, trips. Big guys get out there. Again, getting ahead of the sticks on first down. All right, instead of just running that football, all the time, obviously you got to be able to do that a bit. But one of the great things I think Leach does is build these extensions off the run game that are really long handoffs. That's the last one we got. Again, we did do a Y cross video similar to mesh. I think we got about 9 clips, 9 best ways that Leach runs Y cross. That's in our members only page. It's $5 a month, $4.99. And it helps support our channel. We've been at this for over a year now, and I think we're getting close to 140 videos. So thanks for all the support. Make sure you're sharing this with other coaches so we can reach as many people as possible. If you ever have any feedback for us, hit us up on social media, Twitter, Instagram. And thanks again for supporting the channel.